Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rojo Tarot. I know the setup is very different this time. We're currently, I don't know, I had this weird, I don't know, I felt guided, okay? I felt guided to sit in the closet. And when I first thought of that, can I just have a quick second? Okay, I'm back. So I kind of needed to. I felt really hot. I just literally came back from getting this deck. I don't have my decks anymore for the moment, and so I don't know. I still felt guided to get a deck. However, I do feel as though I could definitely go without a deck and try channeling freely. However, I do really like the confirmations that do come from the cards, and I also like that you can also see with me how I got to my conclusions in some way at least. So we're gonna unwrap it. I completely forgot I have a microphone, so I'm just gonna get that too. Hello. So I'm not quite sure how long this microphone is gonna last. My other one didn't last very long. So let's see. I'm gonna put you here. Remember when I said I wanted a microphone that's like this and you can keep it on things? Hell yeah, babes. I ran into one. Right. Okay. Does that work? Will that work? I kind of want it to be here. I. So this is the Extinct Animals Playing Cards deck. It's a beautiful deck. A life extraordinary. Here we have a rhinoceros, we've got flowers, we've got a dodo bird, we've got, man, is that a seahorse? Extinct animals, like a type of seahorse. I wonder if some of these flowers were also here. Okay, so interesting. Extinct animals. There is something about something of that some. Okay, let's start again. You know how I enter the closet? There's something about how one also having the mirror here is reflecting on perhaps who they are. Okay? And you know how some people say, yeah, if you're in the closet, it means uh, you're also thinking about your sexuality and how you wish to present yourself and those type of things. And if that's you and if that applies to you, I guess you're in the right place. You are in the right place. Okay. So there's also something about doubting oneself or having certain things still being in something of the past. Okay. That how that can still come up. You see how we can see the extinct animals here, even though they're extinct, even though we can never really see them again. Or, that's how that's what extinct means. It's also about it's reflecting being, or you reflecting on a part of yourself that is extinct. But there are certain fragments that are coming back to remind you of something. And right as I open this, I see this. I'm not quite sure what they're called, but I have heard of them. They're hot, like zebra, half zebra things. So, and okay, so zebra, you know how they have stripes, and it's like, okay, certain animals, for example, maybe the tigers and stuff, they've got stripes. And to our eyes, we're like, yeah, but they still stand out in the green and in the foliage. But then when we think about how different cats, different species have also different ways of looking at color, and perhaps to us, we may look at a zebra, it being white, very contrasting to the green of the foliage of the nature, or contrasting the browns, the deep reds of the earth, of the desert, of the sand that is more brown, earthy tones. There's something about that, having different lenses and seeing people and the world as something different, especially now that a certain part of yourself feels extinct. A certain part of yourself has finally been let go of. A certain part of yourself has passed away. Um, and when I say passed away, I see it more as, how you can sometimes, like, how sometimes in movies they show you and, you're seeing yourself walk away, like like how somebody does die and then their soul sort of lifts and walks out. I'm saying that, but your body is still here. You're physically still here. There's just a certain part of yourself that is going on holiday. A certain part of yourself that's finally retired for some time. Who knows when we're going to need them again. And miraculously, we do end up seeing them again, just like how I came across this deck here. Wow. So I wanted to get normal playing cards because I realized that it's quite fun reading with normal playing cards. I appreciate it, and it makes sense still. I think learning tarot was something that helped me understand what suits meant, helped me understand what, you know, they mean, because for the longest time, like I heard and I saw people play, for example, um, what is that game? The one where you have the chips. Hmm? I'm sure you know. But wow, look at this. They are golden. They're golden. Okay. We're serious about design, but playful in our approach. We work with designers globally and try to make their design dreams come true, to create the unexpected welcome and elicit to the extra O. The result is a multi-sensory and comprehensive lifestyle collection. Yes, so this is by Moy. Okay, let's start. I'm gonna keep the jokers in there for sure. And why do I say for sure? Because, well, they're fucking part of it, aren't they? We've also got jokers in this world. Fuck, they're slippery. Okay, yeah, and some jokers can be slippery. Some jokers, you can feel like they're, with you, they're working with you, and then all of a sudden it's like, ha, and like something slips, and it's like, oh, like you need to keep an eye on them, you need to check them, you need to, it's not like you're letting go fully of the cards is that, yeah, you are letting go fully of the cards or of whatever the situation that you're in is, but it's like it's also necessary for you to have some sort of control, which is also quite interesting because for some time, you know, I have been hearing lots of conversations about how control can be much, and that sometimes even me, controlling things in a way made me feel safe. Like knowing and controlling the outcome of things made me feel safe because it also allowed me to be able to be fully in the present moment. There's a card that was here. Wow. We have the Eight of Clubs. This is wand energy. Yeah, wand energy. Then we have the Six of Hearts. Okay, so that also has to do with past life stuff. Okay, so wasn't that what we were talking about? And then the Eight of Wands here. The Eight of Wands is about talking about it. The Eight of Wands is about finally kind of sitting down and taking a moment to release all of that you need to release. Release what's coming up from the past. It feels very much like something that's bubbling up into the surface. And I think that's why the fire energy is here. It really does feel like bubbling up into the surface. The Six of Hearts, Six of Cups has to do with the past, has to do with certain give or take energies as well, okay? So maybe also certain scenarios made you change your ways of giving and receiving, made you change your perspective on what those things meant to you. It's like every moment, everything, something about the Joker came through. Every Joker that you came across in your life, just I was going to say, it made you turn into one yourself. It made you reflect back what was in the closet. Okay, and a lot of things can be in the closet, not just your sexuality, regarding to whether or not you prefer women or men, or whether or not it's all of that, but it's also about what energies, what traumas, what things do you also hold in your sexuality, because that's also a really big thing. If you are somebody who suffered through an experience, maybe you know of it, maybe you don't. And this is for you too, because this is also about talking about it. This is about things in your life that you've experienced that are bubbling up to the surface now because there's this moment that's coming that requires letting go of something. You know, I'm feeling I'm saying this, but it feels like a certain type of urgency. And it almost feels like you might feel sometimes, oh my God, like now I have to consciously and actively do this, otherwise it won't happen. Don't think like that. Because otherwise, maybe that might be the case, or you might be right, because that's the way that you work right now with the world and how you're in balance and how you're in harmony. However, I don't know. There's just the energy of just know that that's something that you can keep in your mind. Know that that is something that you're already doing. Know that that's something that you can ask for guidance on and help on. And when I say ask, I don't only just mean your parents, your sister, your brother, your best friend, your imaginary friends, your spirit guides, your ancestors, whoever it is. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Mother Gaia, the wind, the moon, the sun. Talking to the moon, trying to get to you. And it holds me on the outside, talking to me too. Or am I a fool who speaks the wrong? Talking to the moon. Oh, I know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away. I want you back. I want you back. Na 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 na. When I'm falling down. I was gonna say, I don't know where that was going, but there's definitely talking to the moon scenarios happening here, right? Whether you are taking time to connect to your shadow side, to the night, to the energies of the night, but also to the energies of the day, keeping balance, okay? This king card was sort of loose in my grip. It's kind of pretty, no? It's I was gonna name it. I recognize it. I think we've seen them in certain movies. Okay, but we've got gorgeous, 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 interesting plants here as well. Yeah. So what's also interesting about this card is that there are two versions of this mammal. Let's just say mammal. I don't know the name of it. And the way that it is upright, this mammal is wearing a crown and seems to be surrounded by open space, visually, which differs from, this one, which is